Happy New Year. It's 2020, and I started bursting with excitement on New Year's Eve. I have been taking some time to just think and really pray and reflect about where I want to go next on my journey. And I have behind the scenes been trying to conquer my own fear. So I woke up this morning and that fear had been replaced with such a joy and clear direction that I had to share it with you. So, my dream, now that the TED Talk is live, yay, and behind me, what I really want to do next in my journey is to write a book. I've written an ebook before, but now I really want to write a full book on self care. And I know what the next steps are. I've spoken to people about them, but knowing them and taking that risk are two different things. Last year, I had a friend who sat with me and we went over some of the topics that I would want to cover in a book. And the funny part is, a lot of that actually turned into my TED Talk. So now it's time to revisit it and have a clear idea of what I need to say and to contribute to this conversation at this point. The reason I'm sharing this with you is I want to talk to you about how I got over a major fear. I was having trouble telling myself, I believe that you can get a literary agent and an editor in this new year. I really was having a hard time vocalizing that. And what really broke me out of that was realizing that I could teach myself how not to fear that by reminding myself of what I've already done. And I know that sounds simple, but let me break this down for you. I said, if I want to get on here and talk to people about how I have the confidence that I'm going to find a literary agent and I'm going to find an editor, then I'm going to turn around and tell them about something I did last year that terrified me. For 4 years, I'd wanted to do a TED Talk. 4 years of people telling me, you should do a TED Talk. 4 years of me thinking, well, I have to wait until it's the right time. And oh, I don't know, it's so competitive. And maybe you really need to be a really big known person before you do this. Those were all the fears that were circulating through my head. And what broke me out of it is that I started to be vocal about it. I started to tell people, I want to do a TED Talk. I want to do this. I have something to say. And the people that needed to help me out on that path, they started popping up. Last year at my birthday brunch, so and so knows someone who has worked with TED Talks. And then I'm talking to one of my close friends. Oh, well, I did a TED Talk. Oh, really? Tell me more. And I just started to bump into people almost magically, it seemed, that had the answers I needed. And I found the event that really spoke to my heart, that I felt a deep connection with, and I went through the application process. And what pushed me to go through that process was that I was ready to accept the rejection. I was ready to say, you know what, I might have to apply to 4 or 500 events before I get this accepted, but I'm ready to get this ball rolling. Last year, I told myself, just go for broke, go for 100 rejections. I didn't get to 100, but let me tell you, the things I went for really changed my life. And so, what I'm telling myself today is, if you can get up here and record a video telling people how to conquer their New Year's fears by giving them an example of something that you feared and you figured a way to figure that out, you're leading and you're empowering and you're teaching yourself how you're going to do something that terrifies you this year. So let me tell you, it's not easy to go public and to talk about something that I really want, because it's so near and dear to my heart. It's my baby. But I haven't birthed anything worth anything in my life without going through pain, without going through fear, without being willing to release it to the world. So I hope this encourages you. I hope that you can start thinking about, what are some of the things that I fear in this new year? Where do I have to go out alone on a limb and not be sure of what the next step is? Where do I have to risk being embarrassed, rejected? Where do I need to risk failure in order to build courage, in order to build resilience, in order to build stamina, in order to grow? Guys, if you want something good for yourself, you gotta be okay with being terrified, being wobbly. If you look closely in the first couple of minutes of my TEDx talk, you can tell that I'm nervous, and the people that know me the best are going, nah, you don't get nervous. But the truth is, I did because I cared so much about the message and I really wanted it to impact and change someone's life. So I'm sharing that with you so that you know I am terrified on the regular. I am. But the more willing I am to embrace that, the more courage that I grow. And as that grows, my God, the things that I'm able to do to impact this world. Guys, I haven't even popped the lid off yet on what I want to contribute. And there are things that I've been dreaming about since I was 19 years old. So, will you take that step with me? Will you look at your life and find something that scares you? Will you be brave enough to post a comment and to tell me how you're dealing with it so I can cheer you on? I'd love that. And even if you don't, just take a moment and think to yourself. Talk to a friend. Watch some of these other videos. I'm going to challenge myself to post as many videos as I can in the next hour to help share with you how you can get through some of the challenges in your life. I really hope to have your company on this journey because I think that we all deserve to go for our goals. Take care and Happy New Year.